Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger and Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight on DentonRadio.com. You are listening to Sound Values. I am Kind Beats, and we are broadcasting out of the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center on the ever bright at 7 p.m. Denton Square. It's lovely out there tonight. Hope y'all are enjoying this beautiful, beautiful spring weather that we got come out. I've got a first-timer on the show tonight. First-timer, it is my pleasure to welcome, I guess you could call him like the mathematical MC, the wizardry. We've got MC Squareroot in the house tonight. Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out. I'm excited to talk about this, man, because it's not really like anything that I've ever heard or seen before.
Sure.
You could say that you're almost as if Bill Nye decided to start rapping per se, or what was that, Beekman's World back in the day?
Yeah.
That was a wild show.
Yeah.
But with the class of like a Miss Frizzle. From the
Magic School Bus.
Yeah, I'm pulling all my teaching, these references, because that was the thing is I had no idea of kind of the origins of it when I first, and so when I went and I started looking and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool, and I started watching videos and listening to I really enjoyed what I heard, and it was fun, lyrical, just fun, well written, not funly written.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So let's kind of tell me about the origins of MC Squareroot and how it came to be.
So I started writing hip-hop music when I started teaching back in 2015.
Okay.
It was the fall of my first year teaching, and anyone that's a teacher will tell you that the first year is all about survival, and it really is. And I was driving to work one morning, and I just started thinking about sorry, I sound like Cartman. How do I reach these keys?
No, it's true.
I was literally thinking that. How do I reach these kids? 'Cause it's difficult. And I realized, every single kid that is in my class, they listen to hip hop. And so I thought, okay, I'll think of a rap. And I literally was writing a rap about functions on the way to work.
Nice.
And then I got to work, and I was like, I wrote it down and opened up GarageBand and made a little beat. And then my worst period class comes around, and I had it, and it was real makeshift. Like I had my lyrics in my hand, and they loved it. They just went nuts. And
yes, so, that's awesome.
I thought, okay, cool. I'll make some more for my kids, and I started doing that. Like had one about y equals mx plus b, and then wrote one about systems. It's all algebra stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cool, and they liked it. And I thought, well, maybe I could try this live. And so that was when Keldrick was doing the Gitmo open mic at Andy's, and so I went up there one night, and I was real nervous, and did it, and in front of a whole bunch of actual legitimate rappers, and because I never really thought of myself as a rapper, because I mean, I've been a musician for years, but just kind of started doing this almost as a joke, almost. I mean, just really a way to engage my students.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was legitimized when I did that first open mic. Like, people were like, whoa, and people came up to me and said, I wish you were my teacher. And so that kind of put the wheels in motion. This has been kind of a slow project for me to really get going. I don't really rap off the top of my head. Everything's meticulous and written out. So it's just taken me, this album I'm about to release, it's taken me about 5 years to make.
Okay, wow.
So hopefully the next one won't be that long.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what's so cool, man. Is so I went to school to be a teacher. I spent my last semester as an 8th grade U.S. history teacher. And so I know exactly what you mean with how am I going to reach these kids? You'd come up with all kinds of fun stuff. And like you said, you try it out with the worst period you have, or
Yeah.
you know, you do all that stuff. So I applaud you for going to those links to reach your students. You know, like those people saying, "I wish you were my teacher." I still don't know what y equals mx plus b is. I was never a good math student in school, but I guarantee you, if my teacher came in, if first off, if Mr. Rage, that was his name, had come in and started,
Mr. Rage.
started busting off some rhymes, I don't know what I would have done with myself. And then another teacher, Coach Drake, he looked like the Pringles guy. They even we had like a sketch comedy thing at school. Like they actually made a sketch comedy about him as the Pringles guy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, it's classic. But man, I definitely would have loved that. And so I applaud you for going to that effort. And it's like you said, it takes a while to write. And I think also the reason that you connected with those actual rappers, as you called them, at Andy's was because like the wordplay that it takes. The mathematics is just, there's a lot of fun words in there. Like I said, you know, parabola and you know, and just the word mathematics can be rhymed in all kinds of fun ways.
Definitely. If ever I sit down and try to write a hip hop song that's not about math, it's actually a lot more difficult for me now because I'm so used to using the different terms. There's a lot of words that are easy to rhyme in math, surprisingly.
What are some of like your favorite combinations of words?
I like using rise over run, and and if it's a whole number, it's divided by 1. I like that.
Okay,
that's one of my favorite ones. I've used that in a couple songs. I like trying to rhyme. Equation is pretty easy because you can rhyme it with calculation, and I really try not to use too much overlap, although there is a lot of overlap, so to speak. But that's an interesting question.
That's why it would take so long though to write. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like you have to be meticulous. You know?
Yes.
Because like if you ask somebody to freestyle about math, you can usually get about like 5 lines in, and then you kind of start to, oh man, there's a lot of things that I can that I could rhyme.
And also, when I'm writing, I want to make sure it's accurate. So that when I sit down and write music, at least for MC Squareroot, I have my computer open. Sometimes I have a textbook, a notebook paper, and then like my computer, I have like 3 tabs open, like Rhyme Zone, Wikipedia, some sort of.
That's
map.
awesome. Yeah.
And, it just. And a lot of times, a lot of the raps I write, I'll straight up just like lift from something that I read. Like in my Parabola song, I have this. So let me backtrack for a second. So my path to teaching was a little bit different. I actually went to an art school.
Okay.
I went to a school called the Savannah College of Art and Design and studied sound design of all things, and didn't become a teacher until 10 years after I graduated college. And so I had to end up going back to school and taking a whole bunch of extra math classes because that's what I knew I wanted to teach.
Okay.
And I had this college mathematics. It was a technical calculus book, and I still have it. And when I was doing research for my parabola song, there was an interesting line that said, "Parabola is defined as the locus of a point that is always equidistant from a given line, the directrix, to a given point, the focus." And I literally took that whole line. I was like, I can make that work.
Yeah.
And so I did. I shouldn't have missed. Is that plagiarism?
I don't think so. We'll let it slide.
It's not. It's
No,
totally not.
no,
It's
no,
creative
no,
liberty.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the author of that book's coming after you
Yeah,
anytime
probably not.
soon.
Probably not.
Sitting, wherever that person is on page 235 of volume 10, MC Squareroot.
Sorry.
Exactly. So before, did you listen to hip hop music growing up at all, and what was kind of your forte with it, or was it really just kind of that need to connect with the students?
I listened a little bit growing up. I listened to some Wu-Tang Clan and some Dr. Dre and. Remember Onyx?
Yeah. How could you not?
Yeah. Public Enemy. Most music I grew up listening to was mostly rock and metal and punk rock. I was big. In high school, that was my thing. I was into punk rock. So yeah, when I started writing hip hop, the main thing I started doing was really the main thing was to try to engage my students and kind of build a relationship with them. So I'm a math teacher, but I'm also a special education teacher at my job, at my work. I wear many hats on my job.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's great. And I kind of fell into being a special education teacher. When I was initially looking for a job, my future boss said, "Hey, we need someone that can also be a special education teacher. Can you get certified?" I was like, "Well, okay, cool." So I did, and kind of just fell into it and hit the ground running, and realized that as both of those kinds of teachers, I can kind of do a little bit something different. So I had kind of had that creative free leeway to do so.
Yeah.
So do what you know, and
yeah, exactly. I mean, even the school itself, it's like that's the special education teachers are hard to come by,
Yes.
especially those who will stay around, and especially those who are going to go to the links to do that extra stuff to get those students the basically the knowledge that they need in order to be as successful as they can.
Exactly. And anyone that's looking to become an educator, we are always hiring for special education teachers. Yes,
it is. Yeah, it is very true.
And it's very rewarding work. I work with students of a wide range of abilities. I work with gen ed students. I work with all sorts of students with various learning disabilities. Lots of students with autism, and I love it. It's great to be able to connect with students of a wide range of abilities. And one of the reasons I teach actually is when I was growing up in school, math was never easy for me. It was always something that I was struggled with. I didn't say I didn't like it, but it definitely was not my favorite subject.
Okay.
And it wasn't until before I went to SCAD, I went to UNT for 2.5 years, and I started working for the UNT Learning Center.
Okay.
And was a supplemental math tutor. And
those people are the reason that I passed college algebra.
Yeah.
The only reason I passed was because of them.
Yeah,
I spent hours in there.
Yeah, I had to take college math with every semester with students, and then I would have my outside study sessions, and that was one of the best, most rewarding jobs I've ever had, and I loved it. And it was really what kind of fueled my desire to teach. But
my most difficult subject was always math. I mean, from the point I can remember going to school, counting pennies and dimes and stuff, I was like, this is not what I'm very good at.
Same, yeah.
And so, I spent so much time in that learning center, and I can remember just like when I finally would like get it, like when just the knowledge of how much like this, I could come in there with any math problem, and the same person would come over to me and they would always be able to work through it. I couldn't understand how they knew they're like, oh, okay, hold on. Calculator. Oh, this is this formula. I'm like, how do you know all of this? Like, we've gone from, graphing to like different voting methods, and you understand like all of it. Like, this is crazy to me, but hey, that's what those people are there for,
but
I guess. So
I will
shout out
say,
to them.
as a teacher, when your student, you can see that light bulb turn on in their head. That is a very rewarding feeling as a teacher. So, like, I'm sure it was like that for whoever was helping you.
Oh yeah, I think so. Because once I finally wasn't going there every day anymore, I made sure to go back and say thank you. That was awesome. Well, man, so you've 5 years later, this project is going. So was this like 5 years ago that you went to the open mic night at Andy's?
It was, so I started making them in about 2015, and I guess it was probably spring of 2016. So, just about a school year worth of time that I
for sure
felt comfortable to be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And so, you meet Keldrick from Gitmo, great person, great dude, does a whole lot, for the good music in the area. How did that conversation kind of start with him? Were you like, did it start with like, are you serious, or was it?
So I met Keldrick through my friend Jared. He plays in a band called the Faps, and they're also in Gitmo. And I met him at Andy's. It was kind of in passing when I first met Keldrick. I didn't really sit down and have a conversation with him until I was kind of ready to put out this album, and I was kind of thinking about having a label support it. So that my initial conversations were that was when Keldrick used to smoke cigarettes, and I gave him a superhero supervillain lighter. So
wait, what? I'm not the only one you gave one of these to?
Sorry. So fast forward years later, I've put out 2 more albums with my band, and I'm finally starting to sit down and write enough material for a hip hop album. And most of this album I recorded myself, other than a lot of the beats that I had. I made maybe half of the beats, and then Richie Flo made almost all the other ones, and Higgy made one of them for me as well.
Nice.
And when I was starting to think about like putting this album out, I thought maybe I should have some label support. So I asked Richie initially. I asked him, "Hey, you've worked with Keldrick a whole bunch. Would you recommend him?" And he said, "Most definitely, man. I think he said specifically, he'll put albums in your hand." So I was like, "Cool." So I contacted him and just said, kind of pitched him my idea, and and he said, "Yeah, come on over." So I went over to his house, and we talked for about an hour about what I wanted to do, and he liked what I was thinking of, and he thought he could definitely help me get my vision going, and we just kind of took it from there.
Nice.
So,
Very
yeah,
cool. Very
yeah.
cool. And now you've got this, and that's what was kind of, I like walked up and I remember seeing like the, like the announcement that it was going to happen at Golden Boy, and I was like, MC Squareroot, who's that? And I was like, and he's got Pudge, Richie, and I believe Munster's on there as well.
Yeah.
If I missed anybody, let me. Oh, Higgy's playing.
Higgy
and
L25.
L20, and then Gear as well, I believe. Did I see Gear was on there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that, I mean, like all of those people have. The only person who hasn't been on this show is Gear. But everybody else has been on this.
And also Brett Crow, he's playing too.
Ah, yeah. Well, Brett's actually been on here with Puddingtane before. But I played recently with Gear down in the basement for some of the stuff that they do down there. Him and DJ Just Trill. So very familiar with their style and his music too. So a lot of really good names in there, man. How did you kind of go about deciding to do a release party and where you're going to do it and who was going to be on?
So originally we were going to do it on Saturday, on the 14th, because it's Pi Day.
Okay.
And we were originally going to do it at Backyard and Bell, and rest in peace, Backyard and Bell.
Pour one out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we moved venues, and we decided to end up going with Golden Boy because I don't know if we wanted to play at a place that was where it's basically all ages, but also sells alcohol.
Yep, I hear what you're saying.
That?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I don't drink, but Keldrick's birthday is the day is on Thursday, so he was like, "Look, can we also make it like my birthday?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, most definitely, let's do that."
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is what's great about Golden Boy is that, like, especially if you do an event there, people can come and get a cup of coffee, or they can come and have a beer if they want. And like you said, it's all ages. So if I do have some friends that are far younger than me that are 20 years old who want to come and hang out and want to come and play shows stuff. And I recently had a buddy who was like, I was out of town, and he was like, "Man, I just got to Harvest House, but they won't let me in." And I was like,
"Oh no,
Louise, are you 20?" And he was like, "I'm not 21 till the 17th." And I was like, "Oh, dude." And he was like, "I didn't know." I guess of all the times we had played there, he came there when like none of us were there to kind of like, just be like, "Oh, dude, you can't." No, he didn't message any of us before. So, but it is what it is. But that's what's great about that spot. And he was like, I didn't even think about it because Backyard on Bell was the same way. You could, if you were under 21, you could still go there. But that's what is great about Golden Boy. Not to mention the coffee and the delicious pastries.
And I do like give a shout out to Freaks and Geeks, the comic shop that's next door. I'm a big fan of that place as well. I'm really excited. It's pretty crazy how many really good artists are playing.
Yeah, how did you get all those people together?
Well, partially through Keldrick. A lot of them I already kind of knew. I've played a few shows with Munster, and I've worked with Richie pretty extensively. And L25, I've played a few shows with her. Brett, I've played tons of shows with Brett. He's actually been playing. He actually played the last show Superhero played. He played bass with us. So
nice.
And I don't think I've technically. I guess I've played shows with Pudge before. And I've seen him before. And then I've known Joe for forever, and I played I think one show with Higgy, but like I've known him, and he actually has worked on pretty much every one of my YouTube videos that are animated.
Oh yeah, nice.
So the way that so check out my YouTube channel. It's MC Squareroot. It's MC and then Squareroot. That Squareroot is one word.
Mm-hmm.
If you put square and then root, you'll find some English kid who thinks he can rap, and he's not very good. I'm sorry.
It's not him.
No, it's not.
There's
it's not
clear
me.
difference.
Yeah, there's a clear difference. I'm not English, and yeah. Anyways,
well, that's funny.
but so I started making my videos, and I make them in PowerPoint of all things,
Okay.
and send him the file, and he takes the slides and put them in, I think, Final Cut, and just animates them for me. And
nice, very cool.
Yeah.
I could see like one day one of your videos having like that Schoolhouse Rock feel to it, but in that more of that hip hop style. The animation that they had. If anybody ever saw the one about the bill, like I'm only a bill. That one, or like when they had the ones about different grammar and stuff like that. You know, we watch those all the time, but they never had that stuff for math. And so I feel like conjunction, like if what's your function, like those were songs, and so I remember that. It's stuck in my head. I even used to like write little rhymes, to help me remember things in class, if I could listen to an instrumental song and kind of just write stuff down and then not even really rap it, but like just kind of sing it, hum it in a way. That way if I went into this class and I was like, oh, I could hum that, and then I would write the words, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh man, there you go. It's interesting to me how we can retain things when they're rhymed, it seems.
Yes.
Like when it follows a certain pattern, the way that
definitely.
it sticks.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts or opinions on that?
Well, yeah. I have a song called about the trigonometric functions called SOHCAHTOA, and it's not really a rap song because it's more kind of more like a reggae song almost. And the hook is SOHCAHTOA is the order of the trigonometric functions, and I showed that to a geometry class I'm teaching this year. I showed them the video, and it was pretty funny that when they were doing their work, and actually when some of them were taking the test, I actually could hear some kids was like humming that.
And they'll never forget that. That's what I mean though. Is like those kids are going to be humming SOHCAHTOA like that. Generations from now.
You're welcome, right?
Yeah. Generations from now, you'll be the old man, and you'll hear some kids on the corner singing like, whoa, where'd you hear that?
I wrote that.
That was me. So there's a lot of different names also that you could have chosen, different MC names or ways you could have gone about it. How'd you come across MC Squareroot?
So when I was initially, after I wrote a couple songs, I realized I wanted to put it online, so I created a page, and I got it from the theory of relativity, E equals MC square root, right? Or E equals MC squared.
Yep.
And so I thought about doing MC squared, but I decided not to because I thought that was a little contrived. And it actually turns out there's actually an artist already named MC squared who doesn't rap about math. So I'm not calling you out, but
what are you doing?
So you need to step your game up, man. So I thought it was a little more interesting to call myself MC square root. And the fact that I square root's one word, that was kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
But I liked it, so I just kind of went with it.
Yeah, just stick with it. Yeah, and especially, now at least your videos won't get convoluted with somebody else's, in that way.
Exactly, yeah.
Put it together as one word.
Exactly.
So, and as soon as I asked you why, I was like, oh, MC equal, MC, it's all mathematical. Even the MC, you think about it as in a hip hop term, but in a math term, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
it makes perfect sense as well too. It's all the pieces are just coming together right here tonight. They're all coming together. So, man, when is this release party at Golden Boy?
It is on Friday, and I believe it's starting around 7.
Nice.
So I'm actually meeting with Keldrick tonight to kind of work out the order.
So this Friday.
Friday the 13th.
That's a free show?
It is free, yes.
Nice.
It is
that's
free.
a whole lot of entertainment for free.
It is the right price, yes.
I don't think I have anything going on Friday night.
Well, you should come out.
Sounds like I'll have to come out.
I'll have my shirts for sale. I'll have my calculator watches for sale.
Whoa, wait a minute. You have calculator watches?
I do, yeah. I got black ones and green ones.
That is, I've never seen watch merch ever.
Right?
It's the greatest thing.
Yeah,
I'm so stoked on that.
Yeah, come up. Yeah,
Okay,
clever
now I think I have to get a Squareroot watch because that's just too cool. I used to have a calculator watch, but it went kaput.
Oh.
The band actually broke. It was a Casio.
I think I have one. Let me give you one. Here.
Oh, dude,
You want black or green?
Oh, give me the black one.
Okay, yeah. Here you go.
This.
There you go.
Oh man. All right. Well.
There you go.
This is okay. I'm official now.
Yeah.
I got an official. I'm gonna wear this all the time.
Yeah.
I'll never lose track of time, and I can calculate tips correctly.
Yes.
So we got. Oh man. Well, while I get this thing out of the package here, go ahead and get this bad boy going. So. We've got it coming up March 13th. It's going to be this Friday. But beyond that, you've also got a pretty extensive. Can I see those scissors, please? I look like a fool over here. I got weak fingers, I guess. Thank you very much. The hand from out of nowhere bringing me the scissors. But you've also got what looks like a pretty extensive tour going on.
Yes.
So how does that come to be?
Wow. So I decided that I wanted to tour, and it's just not about being a teacher. I get roughly 2 months off in the summer, so I have time. And I contacted a buddy of mine up in Kansas who has helped me get shows before, and some of the shows I set up myself. But I'm gonna be going on the road from June 19th all the way to, it's looking like June 29th, so probably about 10 days. Nice. With one day, June 21st, I'll be back in town for Father's Day. But
okay.
That's
awesome. And now, so do you feel like superhero, supervillain is something that kind of helped you? Like, you guys have done some touring, you've traveled around. Yeah. Do you think those, like, having that band helped you develop those connections to kind of get placed?
Most definitely. I would not, if it wasn't for my band. The relationships I developed in my band, I wouldn't most likely have the connections I was able to set up with this.
Are there any cities that you've on this tour that you've never been to?
Several, actually. Okay. Yes. Let's see. The cities I've never been to that I'm playing: Pueblo, Colorado; Colorado Springs, Colorado; Bloomington, Illinois; Cincinnati, Ohio. I've never been to Ohio. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yep. Yeah.
I've never been to Wisconsin playing there. I might be playing in Missouri. That one is still kind of up in the air. I technically have been to Missouri, but
passing
through.
Yeah.
And then I have a couple gigs in Oklahoma. I'm playing 2 gigs in Wichita, in Kansas on the same day.
Man,
different cities.
So if you're out there and you're in any of these cities, make sure you check out MC Squareroot when he's in your city. That's cool, man. I hope that'll be a good time. That'll be some fun travels, a lot of memories to be made. Right?
Yeah,
there,
it's gonna be fun, man.
Are there any cities you're particularly looking forward to?
Cincinnati. I'm really excited to go there.
Cincinnati is like one of those places that I forget about.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like I don't know, but sometimes I forget that Connecticut exists. I forget that it's actually out there. I'm like, there's a town called Connecticut, it's a state?
Yeah.
Not even a town?
I mean, the states, compared to Texas, it's basically a metroplex, right?
Yeah, pretty much from what I've heard. Once again, sometimes I forget it's even there. Like, I'm more aware that, like, New Hampshire is there than Connecticut. I hear Connecticut's nice. I've been to Vermont. Vermont was beautiful.
Yeah.
But, there's all these cities and all these places, and that's what's so great about music is it can take you there. But, like, when I went to Florida recently to visit to meet, like, all of my girlfriend's family, it was really cool. We were in this town called Sanford, and it was a lot like Denton. Even when I was hanging out, it's a Tuesday night, and the guy starts setting up for open mic night.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, and guys were playing. I walked into a place called West End, and the DJ already it was like, noon. The guy had just come and dropped his crates off, to spend that night.
Yeah.
So what's great about being a part of the music community is you can always find another place to go and play music or to go and talk and have a way to connect with the people in that town right there.
Definitely.
Especially if you come from Denton, where open mic nights are where most of us start. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're playing guitar, rapping, even myself making beats, that was where I started. House shows, all that fun stuff.
Sure.
So developing those connections and being able to travel with music is awesome. So I might go on my first tour in the fall.
Okay. Maybe.
I'm waiting to hear back. We'll see what the touring band says and what all goes down. We'll see. It could be my first one, so it could be a good time.
Nice.
So let's kind of talk about Superhero Supervillain a little bit as well, in combination with MC Squareroot.
Yeah.
What did you take? What would you say you took from your knowledge and skills of songwriting and playing music of Superhero Supervillain and applied it to MC Squareroot?
Okay. Writing songs, I will say very little actually. Most of the songs that are written for Superhero Supervillain, at least that I've written, they're all written on guitar, almost all of them.
Okay.
And I don't hardly ever play guitar with MC Squareroot other than like Sokotoa. I recorded guitar for that and then looped it.
How long have you been playing guitar?
23 years now.
Very nice. Yeah. I was gonna say you look like you know what you're doing up there with Supervillain.
Yeah, it's been a while. So like Superhero, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary last December.
Nice.
I guess the main thing that I kind of brought over from my experiences with that band and multitude of bands I've been in before was just being able to work a stage, stage presence, and then being able to vocally project, whether it just be, just because I don't. When I'm rapping, I don't rap like at the top of my lungs for the most part, but it's still you still got to push, and push. And then I do have my second version of Parabola is like kind of, I call it my banger version.
Nice.
And that's like I'm like screaming at the top of my lungs, and so that's kind of the superhero supervillain coming out of me at that point. But the writing process for MC Squareroot is really completely different than, for the most part, than what I do with Superhero Supervillain. Like most of the songs I've written for that band, I very seldomly write anything down until afterwards. Sometimes I do, but most and then a lot of it just depends on the song, man. Sometimes we'll come to practice and be like, here's a song, or Ziggy will come up, here's a song. Zach will come, here's a song. And then sometimes like, hey, I have a couple riffs. Let's jam it out. Let's see what happens. And it's just it's more of an organic thing. Right now we're kind of working in a new bass player and writing new material. So I think we're shooting for hopefully working on a new album starting in the fall. Hopefully.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Nice. You stay busy, man. I mean, with teaching and all and music and all that. I mean, especially like you said, the first year is all about survival. So
it really is.
Still being able to do music and doing all that. But that's what's amazing is that you took music and made it a part of your curriculum.
Yeah,
made it a part of your teaching style.
Do what you know, right?
Yeah, no, it makes all the sense, man. It makes all the sense to me, and like I said, I think that's awesome. It has me thinking of like, okay, how would I rap about history? That's what I went to school for. History teacher. Okay, so how would we go about that? Which there are thousands of ways. We even with like the rap battles, you have George Washington versus Abraham Lincoln. I think is actually one of them that you can look up. So now that you've kind of got a foot in, kind of this hip hop door now, are we going to dive more into it? What's in the future for MC Squareroot?
Well, what's in the future is I'm going to continue writing new music. I already have a couple ideas for some new tunes.
Okay.
I actually have a couple counting songs worked out.
Nice.
So they're like kind of call and response ideas.
Oh, I love that.
And
because that's hip hop too. That call and response. That's so nice, man.
So my spring break is next week.
Okay.
Unlike a lot of people who spring break is this week, like my daughter's spring break is this week. So hi Lola. I'm not bitter that my spring break's not this week. No, I'm not bitter at all. So I guess next week when I have some free time, I'm gonna sit down and write some. My goal is to write at least one new song I want to write a song about circles. We'll see.
Nice, a song about, and there's just this endless material too.
It really is, yeah.
There's so much,
an infinite amount of material. If you want to say,
I know. Yes, with the symbol, man. See, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's nonstop, man. It's nonstop, man. Okay, so we've got the show coming up March 13th, which is going to be this Friday. We've got Pudge, we've got Gear, we've got Higgy, we have Richie Flo, we have Munster, and we have yourself. Did I get all 6 of those on there?
Yes. I think we're missing. Let's see. We got Higgy and Brett Crow.
Brett Crow. I keep forgetting Brett Crow.
Yes.
That's the one I missed. That's my
I'm
bad.
grabbing it.
It's my bad. I missed
So
Brett
yes.
Crow. Yeah. Here we go.
Will Majors, Richie Flo,
yes.
25, Munster, Pudge, Brett Crow, Higgy, Gear, and of course myself.
Birthday celebration. Oh, Ernie McCracken too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So.
Have you ever seen Ernie?
I have not.
He's
no.
completely ridiculous and an amazing rapper. So enjoy that one. It's going to be sweet. And so, what is the name of the album?
The Uncommon Denominator.
Nice. That's yeah. And who designed this for you?
I'm really sorry.
Was it Todd Little?
I think so.
I feel like
Keldrick hired someone to do it.
If it was anybody, this looks
so.
like some Todd Little work to me.
Yeah.
You know. So.
I wish I could. I made some pretty good flyers. I've made some pretty good flyers, but that one is definitely better than mine. Yeah. Than what I could do.
Todd is very good at it, man. He's definitely made. He has made almost all of my album covers that I came out with during my Music to Cuddle To series.
Oh, nice.
I only recently contracted somebody differently, only because I was trying to like spread the wealth.
Exactly.
And, there was this artist, this kid who makes really good beats. Goes to school up in Oklahoma, and I just started listening to his music, like his beats. And then I started following him on Instagram, and he was posting his art, his graphic design. And I was like, dude, this guy's graphic design is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And so I messaged him, and, I was, and I know Todd, has got plenty of work, So I was like, man, what would it cost to get you to do this? And I pitched him my idea, and he told me the price. I said, that sounds great. So he sent me a thing. I said, that looks awesome. I sent him the money, and then he sent me like the one without his watermarks on it. And and I love it, man. I'm really excited to get this next album out. But yeah, dude, this looks fantastic. I love it. So, and I mean, we've even got the math stuff in the background.
Yeah. It's like
so nice.
All sorts of little details.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
So, man, we always talk music, we talk life, we talk all that stuff, but we have to get down to some more intense subjects here. We got to talk snacks.
Okay, snacks.
We got to talk snacks. What are some of your favorite snacks? So when I come to the shows, I can bring you something when you're up there on stage burning all this energy.
My favorite snack to eat is a combination of almonds and dried cranberries.
Nice.
Yes.
That is delightful.
For almonds and dried cranberries. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's easy.
Yes.
Yeah. So, do you ever go to Winco and just like go to the bulk section and just
put my mouth under it?
Yeah. Encino Man, that wheeze the juice, wheeze the cranberries, wheeze the almonds. Oh man, that's probably one of the most original responses that we've gotten.
Oh, really?
Not a lot of people have thrown that out. Like I said, I've got, throughout the years, I've gotten so many different answers as far as a person's favorite snack, but I don't think I ever got almonds. I get trail mix, but not almonds and cranberries specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I'll eat them together, but I don't know, something about having them separate and just kind of, like, I like to have like a specific.
He's got a ritual. It's
weird.
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm weird. Yeah. I like a specific ratio of almond to cranberry to. Yeah,
look, man, I don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like MC Squareroot has to be kind of weird.
Yeah, like, exactly.
It's just, even the so do you? I mean, here's kind of one of the other questions I kind of asked too. Is this more of like a what is it like a project where you become MC Squareroot? Like, do you change personality in a way, or like
maybe a little bit? When I perform, I like in that flyer, I usually perform in a suit.
I saw that in a lot of videos.
I do. I dress nice. I mean, it's.
Are you a method rapper? Like a method?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, personality. My personality doesn't really change. Like, maybe I'm a little more amplified when I'm on stage. Mm-hmm. But I do try not to curse when I'm performing as MC Squareroot. I mean, depending on the audience, if I'm performing like in a bar, the coarser language will come out. But I intentionally make my music to not have any expletives in it.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good idea too.
Yeah, which honestly is kind of makes me a little bit more little different than a lot of rappers.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that respect,
exactly.
too,
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah, for sure. You know, that's the thing is just depending on the message that you want to get across. It depends on the language that you're going to use. You know,
yeah. Write me some rap songs that don't have the F word.
Yeah, you don't have to drop the bombs. Yeah, when we're rapping about math. Now, there is math rock, and so I would call this math rap.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to call it nerd rap, you know, as some people would call it.
Yeah.
You might, but I was like, okay, we have math rock, then it's got to be math. This is math rap right here, which I
Yeah,
love me
yeah.
some math rock. Rorschach is a great band who I've seen a couple of times up here. Yeah, man, but I'm excited. This is a super cool project. It's a really cool idea. It's an original idea. And like I said, I'm sorry it took me a minute to get back to you as well. I was out of town, and then I was like, oh, this is an incredible idea. I need to talk to this guy.
Yeah,
Either
perfect
way,
timing,
we were good. Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, he's got the release party. I hope he can come. And you're here, man. So once again, we got the release party this Friday, March 13th. We're also doing a birthday celebration for the man Keldrick of Gitmo. We'll have Trouble, Ernie McCracken, DJ Just Trill at Golden Boy Coffee, with also performances from Will Mages, Richie Flo, L25, Munster, Pudge, Brett Crow, Higgy, and Gear. This is an absolutely stacked lineup.
It's going to be stacked, yeah.
Stacked, yeah. The place is going to be packed.
It
I'm
probably
excited.
will be packed,
I'm
yes.
excited.
Yes.
It's going to be, it'll flood to the outdoors. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
I'm excited about
Yeah,
it, man.
it's gonna
I'm
be fun.
excited. Man, thank you so much for coming by
Thank you.
tonight, man. And thank you. Look at, and it even, oh, man, this is amazing. It works, too.
Yeah.
This is
You can sync it to the seconds, too,
yeah,
which is nice.
5 times 9, it's 72 still to this day. Or 8 times 9. I said 5 times 9.
I was like, that's 45.
The math teacher's over here like, oh, gosh, this guy. Man, well, thank you so much again for coming on the show, dude. It's been fantastic talking with you. Of course, after this, we've got Ellie Bell and the Denton Vibe, and I will be back next week with another guest on the show talking life, music, and, of course, snacks right here on Sound Values. We will see y'all next week right here on DentonRadio.com. Peace.
Show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton. Do you love live music? If so, make Denton, Texas your next vacation. Find more information at discoverdenton.com.